Hello, welcome to Self-Love, Self-Care System Conversations with Experts. I'm Hem, and today we have an amazing guest on who is the author of Every Day in December. We have Kitty Wilson joining us to talk about this beautiful Christmassy tale, which is all cozy and romantic and lovely. And as you all know me, you know that everything I do is to do with self-love, and what isn't closer to self-love than romance. Hello, Kitty. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, Hem. I am so excited to be here. It's going to be so much fun.
So tell me, Kitty, tell me a little bit about the two protagonists. The two protagonists in this book are Rory and Belle. So obviously they're going to be having a romantic situation come up. What's in this? What's in this that's juicy and gorgeous and that we can really get our teeth into for this beautiful December cozy Christmas read?
Okay, so this book has so many of the romance tropes that readers absolutely love. We have grumpy versus sunshine. So Rory hates Christmas, and understandably so, because he's had some horrid trauma and he just doesn't want anything to remind him of that time in his life. And the minute the Christmas music comes on, then he goes straight back to that time. So he's really grumpy. Then we have Belle, who is sunshine, and she loves Christmas. She's obsessed with Shakespeare, but she's equally obsessed with Christmas. And she is determined to make Rory see the joy. They met at university and they both judged each other a bit, as you do when you first meet someone. And then when they bump into each other a few years later, they realise that their judgments they made as adolescents might not be quite as true as they thought. Each chapter of the book is written for one day of the month. So you get to see them as they meet again and slowly start to realise that there is possibly more to their relationship than just friendship.
Beautiful. And what I love as well is that you've done Every Day in December. I love December, and those of my viewers that know me know that I love sparkles and I love every day of the year. It doesn't matter whether it's December or not, but in December we can have all the sparkles and we can have all the romance. And what's not better than to understand that romance is the biggest part of self-love for ourselves. If we haven't got our self-love really, really honed in, then what happens in life is our romantic relationships suffer, right? And I think somewhere in this story, a little bit that might come up, right? So we've got
very much so. Belle has narcissistic parents, and consequently, she has zero self-belief. She's what she accepts as normal is far from normal. And this book, as well as being a romance with Rory, it's also very much about Belle's journey, being able to accept what is okay behavior, what she should put up with, what she should stand up to. And at the start of the book, she's not really strong enough. She just still takes it and takes it and takes it. And as the book develops, she realizes that she's worth more. And it very much is a journey of Belle learning to love herself. And then once she's in a place where she's got firm boundaries, knows what's acceptable and what's not, then she's in a great place to go on and have a healthy and functional relationship, which she has failed to have up until that point.
That is so interesting because, you know, in my own life, I had so little self-esteem, so little self-confidence, and I wasn't able. And interesting, I have a romance just like this because I would do, wouldn't I? And so I was like Belle, you know, I really had no boundaries. I let everyone step all over me, and I allowed my life to just fall apart around the seams because I was so busy trying to help everybody else. And when you try and have a relationship, in fact, even when you try and do the self-love stuff for yourself, if you're still so busy people-pleasing, playing the perfectionist, playing superhuman, how do you bring that beautiful love into your life? And it's a real question. But it's interesting as well, because you were saying about how with Rory, he has the other side of the equation, how he doesn't like certain things and he's got his own issues to bear. So what comes up for Rory through all of this?
Rory is very different. He's had a one event trauma, which we see at the very start of the book in the prologue, but has grown up in a happy, healthy family. He's got firm boundaries, but he also has a degree of survivor guilt. So he's constantly beating himself up. He sees that he is the reason that this awful thing happened, whereas actually it was as far from his responsibility as it was possible to be. But again, he needs to learn that you can't take responsibility for everything that goes wrong in the world. Yes, you have to own your own actions. Yes, you have to own the consequences of that, but you are not responsible for controlling everything in the bubble around you. And that sometimes you need to let go of that control and accept that you're as human as the rest of us. And then, of course, when he's able to do that, he too is in the place to have a more healthy relationship going
That's
forward.
beautiful what you just said. I love that bit where you said about the control thing, because you know, one of the major things that comes up often when I see clients, well, actually, and when I do the self-love stuff, is that people feel that they do need to manage everything. And whenever I say it with self-love, whenever, even with romance, this is what I say all the time. I say, do the self-love stuff, then you can step into this cozy, beautiful space where you can fall in love, right? Because love only comes from our healed spaces.
Absolutely.
That thing with the control that you were saying, Kitty, that control is an element that many of us would have learned as children. And just so you know, Kitty and I were both primary school teachers before. So we both experienced that thing of where as children will try to protect. They will constantly try to protect others. And when we get older, and this is why we need to learn self-love, because we need to understand that which is healthy control, what's unhealthy control. So yeah, that's really beautiful. It's interesting and really beautiful.
Absolutely, thank you. Yeah, and my experience is that this need to control, and I've certainly experienced it myself, it stems from inherent insecurity. It's not the actions of someone who is healthy and well-rounded. It's coming from the things inside us that make us anxious, and therefore we need to control rather than just let things flow.
Yeah, that's true. I like the, yeah, because I think, and I would say even for myself, actually, I didn't want to see it because it's very easy. Like I said, I can read this and be all slushy now, so happy, because it makes me feel happy and it's got laughter in it and joy in it, right? But you know, but then when it comes to my own life, I tend to be very much like, I was, because I suppose I've done all the work now, and you guys know I have, but I used to be uber critical of myself. And then it meant I was uber critical of everybody else. So how was I meant to be romantic and in love when I couldn't even be nice to me? And that's what actually came out. Yeah.
I know, that's really interesting as well. That hypercritical nature is really, really common, isn't it? And certainly in the book, Belle's very self-critical because that's what she's grown up with. She's grown up with being the disappointment. So she sort of gets in and does it to herself before anyone else can.
Yeah. And that, guys, is a beautiful, Kitty, thank you for that, because that's a beautiful way of thinking about how you're sabotaging yourself.
Oh, yeah.
When are you stepping on your own toes? When are you stopping yourself from having the things that you deserve? Because I say this all the time with people that I work with. Often it's not because you can't have it, it's because you won't let yourself have it. And you know, and romance is a big one for that. Romance is a massive one for that. We don't want to commit to relationships, not because we really think the other person isn't right for us, but because we think they might be too good for us.
And we're not worthy. And that's also threaded all the way through, because obviously that's one of Belle's underlying fears, that she's not worthy of any of this because she's just a bit of a mess up. But as the book progresses, the reader can see clearly it's not true. Her friends can see it, and Belle slowly realizes it as well.
So I haven't read much of this because Kitty sent it to me, and I want to read it over Christmas time because I'm one of these people, if something's dated, I have to read it on the date.
Right.
I want to read it on the date.
Got so many readers getting in touch and saying they're planning to spend their evenings every night this month just reading the chapter that's pertinent to that evening.
That's what I'm going to do.
Nice way of doing it, yeah.
Yeah, and I've also read a few comments, and people have said that this is very, very Christmassy. And I love that because it's every day in December. We've got that beautiful Christmassy spirit in there. And, you know, this is definitely the time to give yourself the gift of humour, joy, romance, and of the fact that it's one time, it's the end of the year. We can look at what's been going on and we can look at everything in our lives. And, you know, as we all know, there's lots of you who do celebrate Christmas, and even if you don't, there'll be stuff going on because we're coming to the end of the year. So it's about bringing that joy through and understanding that, you know, in life, as our protagonists find in here, right, you have to find yourself to be anything, any time in life. You have to find yourself, and you have to find that real truth of yourself and really be willing to And I know it sounds a bit much, but we always have to let ourselves crack open. And I think that's what you've given us here, haven't you? They've allowed themselves to.
I've certainly tried. The security they find in their friendship allows them to open up and then examine the things that are holding them back. But also the thing with Christmas setting, Christmas, I love Christmas. It's sparkles, it's glitter, it's everyone getting together. But also it's a really difficult time of year for lots of people, and it's this book is Christmassy, it's rammed full of lovely things, but it is also difficult for the both of them have their issues about this specific time of year. And I don't know anybody that doesn't have worries about Christmas as much as enjoy it, even if it's just the drunk uncle in the corner and what he's going to do or say next, or you can't fit your turkey in the oven. It can be little things or it can be the big things. And I think this book is super Christmassy whilst respecting the fact that it can be a really difficult time of year for some people.
That's beautiful. I love that you brought up Kitty. Kitty, the thing about that is that sometimes, and I remember the old ideal of Christmas. And the old ideal of Christmas wasn't really commercialism, okay, guys? It wasn't. It was all about love and giving to those less able than us, right? And I did a blog about it many, many years ago, which I might repost underneath this, so you can have a look at it if you want to. But in that, I spoke about how this is about us understanding one another, and that some people are not as fortunate as other people. And like you were saying about, it can be really difficult for people. Some people haven't got homes. They don't have a Christmas meal, or like I say, some people don't celebrate this, but even at the end of the year, they get to struggles because they're going into a new year and there's going to be new challenges.
Financial impact, just the everyday stuff as well as the emotional stuff, the practical things. Sorry, I interrupted you.
It's beautiful that you brought that up, because I think that we do forget. And I think there's a beauty in respecting and remembering that. And I think I remember rightly that back in the day, like having the presents under a Christmas tree, it actually wasn't like that. It used to be little gifts on the tree, like tree presents.
Okay.
And it was mostly food, actually, because the idea was it was about nurturing and caring for people and stuff like that. And that is love. That's the other aspect of love, isn't it? Giving
others. It's about being nurturing. And there's a fine line, isn't there, between being a people pleaser and putting other people before yourself, but at the same time nurturing someone, and finding that fine line is a tricky balance. But that's exactly what love should be, particularly between two consenting adults. You each build each other up and therefore make each other stronger and valued. Whereas if you're both too busy pushing yourselves forward, then the relationship's not going to last, not going to be healthy.
Well, I'm totally excited now because I'm going to be reading it little bit by bit. And I'm totally excited because I think that there's, you see, like I say, for me, it's the one time of the year I get that special time, right? And my other half isn't that much of a lover of Christmas. So
this is the first year he's not been shopping on Christmas Eve for his presents. Parcels have been arriving. He's improving, but he's not a Christmas fan either. He's a little bit grinchy.
My other half, I've known him for a really long time, and he always used to go shopping on Christmas Eve. It's like, no one goes shopping on Christmas Eve.
They do.
Apparently they do. So yes, I do. I mean, obviously, I like Kitty, and I think this book is going to give you some joy. Because it's actually, I didn't know there was this great big tribe of people that love to have a Christmas read, but it's a big thing. So if you want a Christmas read and you haven't got your Christmas read yet, I do think this is worth picking up. And like I say, the comments I've read have said it's gleefully Christmassy. It's Christmas. I can't even speak. Christmas. And it's beautifully lighthearted, and it will help you. And yes, there are some things tackled in here that are about life and about exploration of ourselves and that. But we are here to evolve. We're here to grow. We're here to learn. And I think it always helps if we can have joy and that understanding put together in our lives. And I think maybe if you want to look Christmas read, this could be the beginning and take you into the new year, because it is every day in December.
It is, and its story finishes on New Year's Eve. It does finish on New Year's Eve. I've been overwhelmed with the reviews. People have been lovely about the book, actually. There are a couple of trigger warnings. We talked about narcissism. Cancer also gets discussed in the book.
Also, if you're the sort of person who maybe doesn't like some kind of colourful language.
Oh yeah, sorry, I've got a dreadful
thing. It wrote a few, but really, you know, if you're okay and you're open and you love something that's going to give you a bit of a giggle, I think this is definitely for you. And so, yeah, if you want this, where can we get it, Kitty? Where can we get Every Day in December?
You can get it at all the regular places, so Amazon, Waterstone's website, all of those. If you want to give money to small independent shops, then there are sites like hive.co.uk and bookshop.org, which will send you the book so you can order it online, but they will give a small percentage of their profits to our indie bookshop that you can nominate. So yeah, Amazon, Waterstone's, Hive, Bookshop, Kobo, and of course Asda, pretty much anywhere.
So that's obviously, that is where you can find Every Day in December, so that you can bring some Christmas sparkle to your month. And also, if anyone's interested in finding you, where can they find you, Kitty? Online?
On social media, but I tend not to have all the pages because I prefer to sort of interact with people, let them message me and all the rest. So just come find me as Kitty Wilson on Facebook, Twitter or Instagram, or sign up for my newsletter, which is on my website, kittywilson.co.uk.
That is lovely. Everybody, you know where you can find me. I'm at selfcaresystem.com. And you know that I've got my Facebook pages, which is the coaching page and the angel page. And I hope you've enjoyed this. This has been a fun Christmassy episode for you. And I do apologise for not wearing a Christmas hat and being all Christmassy and having a Christmas jumper on, because that would have been cool, right? And Kitty did it for us.
No, Kitty nearly wore her Christmas jumper, but she did it at the last minute. But it's not that. It just says slay the patriarchy, because I can't.
Thank you so much for joining us, Kitty. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm hoping that maybe you can join me for some of your other books, maybe in the future.
I would love to. I really would.
Thank you, darling. Take care. I'm going to
say
goodbye now. Thank you, everyone, for watching that wonderful episode with the talented Kitty Wilson. I also want to thank Kitty. Thank you so much, Kitty, for agreeing to come and be interviewed and to tell us all about your lovely book, Every Day in December. So, guys, keep an eye out, because there are going to be a few more episodes with Kitty over December. I'm not going to tell you what they're about. There'll be a little bit of a surprise for you. So much for watching. Namaste, everyone. Do take care, and I will be back with you soon. Lots of love.